It was from Max that I'd heard about the Greeks talking about being moderate. It was, she said, because temperamentally they were totally immoderate. Starting a war over Helen of Troy is hardly moderate. The vast quantity of gods and goddesses isn't very moderate either. We'd talked comfortably over a cup of tea, Ursula making cucumber sandwiches for us, and then I sat at the table on the veranda and did my homework, while Ursula sat in a white wicker swing reading a medical journal and Max sketched. When it was through, it wasn't a heavy homework night. I left my books and papers on the table and went to stand by Max, looking down at her sketchbook. A sketch of me, one of Ursula, several sketches of hands. Polly, something in her tone of voice made me stop. Urs tells me that you know. Ursula let the magazine slip off her lap onto the floor, but did not bend to pick it up. The swing creaked noisily from its hooks in the ceiling. Yes, Max, I know. Because of Rennie, I suppose. He never talked about you. No, he wouldn't. He just talks about tropical diseases ad infinitum, and you're no fool. Dear square Rennie, I'm glad he's assisting Cousin Bart. Glad you have him for a friend. I'd hoped to spare you, Polly, at least a little longer. No, I'd rather, I started, then trailed off inadequately. Not many people have the privilege of being given time to prepare for death. I can't say that I'm ready to die. I'm still in media res, and I have things I'd like to paint, things I'd like to do, but I'm not beyond the denial and rage. Not beyond the denial and rage. I don't like the pain. Oh, Max. I looked helplessly at Ursula. Urs glanced at Max, rose, picked up the journal, and dropped it in the swing. I'm off to the kitchen. Come and join me in a few minutes, Polly. Little one, Max said, there are worse things than dying. Losing one's sense of compassion, for instance, being inured to suffering, losing the wonder and sadness of it all. That's a worse death than the death of the body. I was silent, trying to push back the dark lump of tears rising in my throat. I don't know how long I have left, Max said. Bart doesn't know. I'm strong as an ox. My heart is not going to stop beating easily. But it's been an immensely interesting journey, this life, and I've been given the child of my heart to rejoice me at the end. She stood, pushing up from the seat with her hands, and I was in her arms, tears streaming down my cheeks. She wiped them with her long fingers. Dear, loving little Paul, but it's better this way, isn't it? Out in the open. I nodded, pushing my fingers in my pocket to look for Kleenex. She put a handkerchief in my hand. Max, I don't want to go to Cyprus. Nonsense. Her voice was brusque. I am not going to allow my plans for the education of Polyhymnia O'Keeffe to be disrupted. I wanted to ask, will you be here when I come back? I mumbled, I still don't want to go. She smiled at me. You'll go, Polly, if only for me. You won't disappoint me. Now go help Ursula, and let's have a merry meal. I've had a rich life, Polly, and I'm grateful indeed. She gave me a gentle hug and a small shove, and I went out to the kitchen. I could ask Urs what I couldn't ask Max. Urs, if I go to Cyprus, will Max be alive when I get back? I can't answer that, child. I don't know. There are no tighter answers to Netsons, but things aren't going to get better. I don't want to go. You must. You know that. Part of growing up is learning to do things you don't want to do. She looked at me gravely. Child, I promised Norris Ormsby I'd go back to Charleston next week. Just this once more, I've made it clear that it's the last time. Max won't ask you to stay with her now that she knows that you know. She won't want to burden you, but I'm going to ask you to come stay with her overnight. Are you up to it? Yes, I said. It's a lot to ask of you, I know that. You don't need to ask. I want to be here. You're a strong child, Polly. It's a front, I wanted to say, but I didn't. And I didn't mind when Ursula called me child. I'd have hated it from anyone else. She handed me a plate of cold chicken and ham. I hope you're not going to regret these months since Sandy brought you over to Bouillère as his Christmas present to Max and me. Never, I cried. I've learned more in these past months than I've ever learned in school. I could never regret them. Never is a long word, and we'll pause there.